While Quinn was in deep thought about the message he had just received, standing by his side, Fex was now acting a little strange. He now had the time to properly analyze the weapon in front of him. "Have I seen something like this before?" Fex said out loud. "Maybe the first leader had something like this, but if that's true, what the hell is something like that doing here?" "You know what type of weapon this is, then?" Quinn asked. "Maybe. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think I saw one of the other vampire families carrying around something like this. But often, the families kept secrets from each other. Everyone would hide their power, and then when the king relinquished their seat, that was the time when everyone revealed their cards. Maybe one of the other leaders knows something more about this weapon, but at least out of all the kids around my age, I have never seen anything like this." Quinn was hoping he could get more information about the weapon in front of him. It seemed pretty obvious that it wanted to place the red blood crystal on the podium in front of him. Most likely, that would lower the barrier blocking the sword. The problem was that the system had declared that once the blood crystal was inserted, it would stay there permanently. The AI voice before had said that the stone was a precious item. "What exactly can a blood crystal be used for?" Quinn asked the system in his head. "I suppose I should tell you, you will have a tough decision ahead of you," the system said. "The blood crystal can be used as a beast crystal. They are used to either create armor or weapons. For certain reasons, these crystals are a lot rarer than beast crystals." "Are they stronger than beast weapons?" Quinn asked, as he was getting a little excited. "It's hard to say, honestly. The unique thing about a blood weapon is that it can evolve and grow stronger. However, depending on the crystal used, there is a limit to its growth and also its starting point. What you have right now in your hand is the lowest tier of blood crystals." An evolving weapon didn't sound too bad to Quinn, while others might be put off by wanting a straight-up powerful weapon. He didn't find it too troubling, as it was similar to the situation he was already in. The idea of his weapon growing stronger while he did as well sounded nice. What put him off, though, was knowing that the crystal he held was the lowest type. He looked at the weapon behind the glass case once again, and it was like nothing he had seen before. He didn't need to ask this, as he was sure of the answer, but asked, just in case. "Is that a blood weapon?" "Yes," the system replied. "How powerful it is from looks alone, I cannot say." Quinn had two choices: to hand in the crystal, or use it to create his weapon. After thinking about it for a while, he had made his decision. There was another major problem if he was to keep the blood crystal, and that was finding someone to create a blood weapon for him. Someone he could trust to keep the secret, and someone who knew how to forge the crystals. Envisioning problems for the future, Quinn decided to hand in the crystal and take the sword instead. "Small blood crystal has been inserted." The room started to shake slightly once again, and the podium, along with the crystal, started to sink into the ground slowly. Eventually, the whole podium was back on the floor, and the vibrations had stopped. "Quest explore the tower complete." There was no reward for completing the quest, but he couldn't be upset about that for long, as he felt like he was about to get the best reward for coming to this place. A large smile appeared on Quinn's face as he rubbed his hands together, waiting to try out his new weapon. After standing there for a few moments, he quickly realized that nothing was happening. The glass covering the sword was still there. "Hey, I think you just got scammed out of your crystal," Fex said, looking at Quinn by his side. His face dropped after hearing those words, since he too thought the same. He started to bang on the glass frame, pounding his fist against it. "Hey, give me my sword! I gave you what you wanted, now it's my turn!" But there was no reply, and the room remained stagnant. "Did it do nothing? Did I just lose my chance to create something great?" After saying those words, Quinn realized that something was different. The whole energy and the space around them had changed. Somewhere else, underground at the same time, Logan was backing steadily away, holding out his blaster at Peter. He hadn't made any moves yet, but he could see his body slowly breathing in and out, not moving a step from his position. While continuing to back away at a snail's pace, a sudden sound was heard. The sound had indicated from around Logan's waist. Without needing to look, he knew where it had come from. It was his scanner. Using one of his hands, he picked up the scanner and immediately turned it on, and just like he thought, it was a success. For some reason, the scanner was online. After quickly scanning the tunnels around them, Logan found what he was looking for. In one of the tunnels to his right, not too far from here, were the bodies of some students who had met an unfortunate end after falling from above. "Yes, Peter, I think I can solve your problem." In Logan's excitement, he had placed both eyes on the scan only for a brief second. When he looked up, Peter was no longer standing where he was directly in front of him. Back in the strange tower, Quinn realized what was the change he was feeling. After inserting the blood crystal into the podium, it seemed like whatever was blocking out his senses before was no longer there. He could now clearly sense Peter. With this, shock had entered his heart. Sensing Peter now, he could feel a mix of emotions and feelings rush over his mind and body. "Is this because of the fight from before?" Quinn said. "We have to hurry and get back to the others." The tower had been fully explored, and it didn't look like Quinn was going to get his weapon. With Peter like that, he was bound to be dangerous, so he decided to leave the tower, and Fex had no problem following. After the two exited the tower and started to head out of town, Fex turned around and looked at the tower one last time. "Bye-bye, tower. I guess there was nothing that special in there after all. I wonder what is behind my family doors then as well. I hope it's not the same boring stuff we found here." A process had begun when the blood crystal was inserted into the podium and went back into the floor. Slowly, strange mechanisms were at work behind the eyes of the two boys. The crystal was being heated to an incredible degree and was melting down. This process took some time, but when the right amount of heat was reached, a red blood liquid was formed and started slowly to filter down. The liquid flowed in one direction only, downward through a tube-like shape. It continued to go down until eventually it reached its destination. Like a sand timer, it started to drip down, and the sound of it hitting something could be heard. Once all of the blood liquid had dripped out, something started to change. In the top room tower, the large circular pattern on the floor started to shift. The outer ring moved to the right fist, while the inner ring moved to the left. The rings continued to move in different directions each time with a clicking sound. With one click, the outer circle ring would stop. With another, the inner circle would stop. This continued until eventually it reached the large circle in the center. The center circle started to rise from the floor, and it finally stopped when it reached a height a little larger than an average human. A few seconds later, the metal circle cylinder dropped quickly back down to the ground, and left in its place was a human figure. It was a handsome male figure, with pale white skin and dark black hair that seemed to go all the way down to the person's waist. Slowly, his eyes opened and a red glow could be seen. "I wonder how long I've been asleep," the man said. He turned his head to see if there were others around, but he could see no one in the room. "I wonder who woke me up. That's a shame. I would have perhaps given him something as a reward." Holding out his hand with his hand open, he faced it towards the weapon behind the glass. The weapon started to vibrate slightly, and soon the vibrations grew stronger. A strange force compelled it towards the man, and the weapon smashed through the glass and into the man's hand. "Let's see if anything has changed in the outside world," the man said.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.